All right, curious minds, buckle up because today I'm diving into some of the most bizarre Bible stories that are just unbelievable by modern standards. Ready? Let's go. First up, we have the story of Balaam's donkey. Yep, you heard that right. In the book of Numbers, Balaam's donkey starts talking to him after seeing an angel. Imagine walking your dog and it suddenly says, "Hey, you missed a spot wild, right?" Next, there's the tale of the floating axe head. In 2 Kings, a borrowed axe head falls into the water, but with a little divine intervention, it floats back up. You know, just your average day at the lake. Then we have the prophet Elisha, who, in a rather extreme reaction to being mocked by kids, curses them, and 2 bears come out of the woods and maul 42 of them. That's in 2 Kings 2. Yikes. Speaking of animals, let's not forget Jonah and the big fish. Swallowed whole, Jonah spends 3 days and nights in its belly before being spit out on dry land. Talk about an extreme vacation. Ever heard of the Nephilim? These were the offspring of the sons of God and the daughters of men mentioned in Genesis 6. They were giants who roamed the earth. It's like something straight out of a fantasy novel. Now get this, in Judges 3, a left-handed man named Ehud assassinates a very obese king. The king was so fat that Ehud's sword got completely enveloped in his belly. Gruesome, but true. Remember the Tower of Babel? People tried to build a tower to reach heaven, but God confused their languages, so they couldn't understand each other. Instant chaos. Imagine working on a group project where no one speaks the same language. Nightmare. In Exodus, God turns the Nile River into blood. Not just a red tint, actual blood. Imagine turning on your tap and blood. Definitely not in the water quality report. And who can forget Lot's wife turning into a pillar of salt for looking back at the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah? One glance and poof, salt statue. The story of Jacob wrestling with an angel all night long in Genesis 32 is another head-scratcher. They brawl until dawn, and Jacob ends up with a blessing and a limp. Talk about a rough night. There's also the sun standing still in the sky so Joshua could win a battle. That's in Joshua 10. A cosmic pause button. In Acts 20, a young man named Eutychus falls asleep during Paul's long sermon, falls out a window, and dies. But Paul brings him back to life. Moral of the story, stay awake during sermons. Let's not forget the 10 plagues of Egypt, frogs, locusts, darkness, and the grand finale, the death of the firstborn. Ancient Egypt was certainly having a bad time. Lastly, Moses and the burning bush, a shrub on fire that wasn't consumed, and out of it God speaks. That's in Exodus 3. Imagine your garden suddenly talking to you, surreal. So, there you have it. 15 bizarre Bible stories that are as fascinating as they are unfathomable. Until next time, keep your curiosity burning.